ABC reporter George Roberts is in Rockhampton. George, as we've heard, it's D-Day. Has the Fitzroy River peaked there yet?
No, actually it stayed fairly static overnight, but there's still a phenomenal amount of water headed towards Rockhampton. It's at about 9.2 metres at the moment, but authorities are still preparing for that peak of 9.4 sometime today. And when it does reach that peak, it's going to stay at the peak for a couple of days, and it's still going to stay at more than 8.5 metres of flood for about 10 days, and there'll still be significant flooding here for at least 2 weeks. Despite that, authorities say that the worst is over, and they're now moving towards looking at recovery. That's the main focus from here on in.
How are the people coping, and what's been put in place to help them?
Well, there is an evacuation centre and about 122 people stayed there overnight. About 500 people all up have been evacuated from their homes, but most of those have stayed with friends and family. There's also an emergency support services network open, and that provides things like Centrelink, like counselling, like access to government services, all those sorts of things that are there to help people get through the distress of having to evacuate their homes, and also for the unknown quantity of not knowing what is going to happen when they get back to their homes and find the true measure of the damage.
You mentioned that they're now in recovery road. How long will it be before Rockhampton's back on its feet?
Well, the Rockhampton Mayor, Brad Carter, says this morning that it could take up to a year for this community to recover. As far as this area goes, the major problem for Rockhampton is the water on the airport. There is a lot of water still on the airport, and that, as long as that stays there, then that's going to increase the cost of recovery for the council, because that could cause more erosion of the airport and of the runway. So they're hoping that the water levels there will drop quickly. But aside from there, all around this area, thousands of kilometres of road have been washed away, have been eroded by floodwaters, and the problem here for the council is just getting the workforce to be able to cope with fixing up all that infrastructure. Obviously, there's also the railway system for the mining, for the coal exports to come through as well that needs to be fixed. And then after that, there are the farmers too that also have to clear up and patch up their properties and put all that infrastructure back in place. So there's a big clean-up effort here to go.
George Roberts, thank you.